What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another video. I appreciate you tuning in as always. We got another day, another winning trade. 22 straight days of green, extending the streak. I want to go over today's trade recap. There was plenty of great opportunities all throughout the afternoon and really good lessons through the New York Open as we were live on ASFX TV, showing the power of patience, not just today, but even yesterday. If you saw the previous trade recap I did, making $400, textbook setup right out of ASFX TV, the futures course, Futures 2.0, the exact same thing pretty much today as well. So let's just jump right into it. If you look at the trade Zella here, not a lot of trades taken this month as I've went over in the past videos. A lot of traveling, a lot of playbooking, a lot of just refinement, even more, even though I am on this nice streak, as you can see, of 22 straight days. But just simply stacking one trade a day. Now that I am risking up, what I said in the video just prior this week, on the less accounts, I'm going to be risking heavier per trade, trying to get to that next payout even quicker than I did the last one. If you just saw my most recent YouTube video, taking the $7,500 payout. If you haven't seen that, I took 3 payouts with Top Step, cleared an entire XFA, and 2 payouts. And of the 2 payouts that I took, the account is still alive. So that's what we're currently trading. But if you want other accounts, the new journey I'm going to be starting is trading with Tradeify. So if you can go to the pricing, I'm doing this straight to sim funding. I recommend the 50K accounts, but you can go and do your own research of whatever you would like. I'm with the 50K accounts, and if you actually use my name, Evan Dyer, at checkout, you can get 30% off these accounts. So definitely scoop up as many as you want, copy them together, and let's get straight to sim funded and start taking those payouts. But without further ado, let's take a look at today's trades. Take a look at the ones that I didn't take first. This is just late in the afternoon. Looking at the clean, beautiful trend here on ES. Nothing but higher highs, higher lows. This is later in the afternoon at 2:30. You get another break of a higher day VWAP. It holds above, right? Buyers defend it. Buyers defend it. Now, albeit you do get the help of MOC, the last 10 minutes of the day is what shoots it to 1R, but nonetheless, it is a nice winning trade. It definitely shouldn't lose, right? If anything, it should be a break even, small win, or a big win. But it's nice, clean trend. The big lesson before we get into today's trade, let's go to the 1 minute so you can really see the chop that I'm talking about. We had Austin and a few others on stream this morning take some longs here, which I don't hate at the time of it. They put in longs on the bounce off New York VWAP. We've seen that play plenty of times. Stop loss at low a day, because if it breaks out the opening range low for a new low a day, get me out of my long, right? Makes sense. Now, a lot of patience has to be put in to sit through this trade. It comes underneath the New York VWAP. A couple people cut it there. I think too prematurely, because you haven't gotten a new low of day. The stop loss is there for a reason. That's where my trade is invalid. That's why I don't want to be in the trade anymore. So I'm either rocking full in or full out, having confidence that I could win 65 to 70% of the time. So even if my wins are, or my losses are bigger in comparison to the size of my wins, they really should be the same size. I have confidence that I'll win way more than I lose, that it's going to be all right. And like I said, conviction in my idea that it's not dead until we break for a new low. So I can't hate it just because we're underneath. It tries to get back above and pop from there, still can't. Super choppy, comes back down. But then, still no new low a day, pops back above, and finally, we get that break. It felt like a while. If you're sitting in this trade and drawdown, I'm sure it felt like 2 hours, but realistically, it only took 40 minutes to get into profit and finally pop. So really not even that long. But I didn't take a trade during that because I don't see my best play. All the videos you've seen on this YouTube channel, you don't see any of the structure I'm trading really looking like this. This is not my best play. This is not what's been putting me on my 22-day streak. So I don't need to play with it today. But having confidence that just because we're choppy now for the first hour, hour and a half, doesn't mean that's what the rest of the day is going to be like. Case in point, you come into the rest of the day and there's the trend. If you could have just stayed patient during that chop, didn't burn yourself out, didn't put on too much risk, literally just wait until it pops out at 10:40, an hour and 10 minutes after the open, and the rest of the day you have clean, beautiful trend. It even goes up higher, further, right? Beautiful trend, right? So don't waste all that mental energy of trying to force something so early on just because you're at the desk, you're ready to trade, you're ready to go. Let's force something here. I'm not seeing what I'm liking, so I'm not forcing anything. And my patience pays me because I sit around, I wait for my best setup. Boom, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Let me take it. I think I still have the markup on the chart. It was actually on NQ again. Might have to start calling me Evan NQ Dyer. I'm not too sure. This is the old markup, so never mind. The markup is here on TradeZella. Beautiful, clean, new high day outside that chop. Not taking that, right? This small pullback, not off a key level. I see a pullback to New York VWAP. Am I getting induced into shorts there? Because we're underneath New York, back inside the open range low. Absolutely not. I'm still bullish on the day. We're still making higher highs and higher lows on the day. Stocks are still above their New York VWAP. ES at this time is still above its New York, so I'm not getting induced on NQ saying, oh, we're sliding lower. I'm staying convicted on that long bias. I actually was willing to play a bounce play. You can see I get in before the high day break because I'm convinced on the longs that this is the price I want to be at away from this level. Trading off a key level, getting it before it pops. I mean, you could have taken the high day break as well, and that would have paid you just the same. But regardless, I wanted to get that better price, better stop loss at this structure, and it pays me. I got a little bit more than 1R. I think I got like 1.4 out of it. So that's why I made 500 on this trade, 400 yesterday, just shy of $1,000 just taking 2 trades this week. And if you saw yesterday's trades, it was pretty damn similar. Just waiting for the clean structure. And honestly, I will admit, I actually took a donut today on a break of VWAP there. Key level bounce off the New York and open range and initial bounce high here. Right, the high day VWAP was slicing there. I take this higher. Didn't bag my profits because it wasn't quite 1R, so it burnt me because I got a winner out of it, technically ish, but not 1R. So I actually come back and I take a donut out of it. Not the end of the world. Little aggravating because I was floating like $400, but I wasn't. I was risking more than 400, so I wanted to get what I was risking. So I paid the price on that by taking a donut, no loss, and then thankfully I was able to get back in later and make back that potential floating gains I had earlier. I was able to get the 500 that I was looking for. Now the lesson could be, well, if you did close it there like you should have or could have, made 400 there and still took this trade later on, you could have had a $900 day. So it's good that I did take this trade and made some money. Definitely could have made more if I snagged the profits on this one as well and traded it really well, catching all the moves off this New York. I would have been buying the New York VWAP bounce twice that day, really playing price well, reading price action super well. So definitely room for improvement on this day nonetheless. There's some other markups in here, but I think just the biggest lesson, right? Just real quick, you can see it here. New high a day, pull back to New York, break of opening range high. Boom, I'm long. I went with a stop loss at that pin, so it put me at 36 points. You can see it goes 1R, but where did I get pinned? Right there. Stop loss break even, I get pinned, and then it shoots to 1R. So you love to see those. Those really feel good and make you laugh. Not really. But I think it was a really clean day because even after this trade, it gives you my trade. Now, another key lesson, trading level to level, right? I'm in at the bounce here. I got out well before the high day, let's say around here. I'm not looking to take trades now into that yesterday's New York. I want to see what happens around there. It actually rejects it. So good. That's why I don't trade into these key VWAPs. I trade level to level, reassess risks, see who's in control, and then I'll find trades later on, which is why I have this trade marked up pretty similar to ES because it is by itself a beautiful bounce off New York VWAP again, initial bounce high again, even, and a break of high a day. Now, if I turn this off, yesterday's New York, I just delete it. It looks beautiful, but I can't just do that. Yesterday's New York VWAP is in the way, so hindsight's 2020. That it's holding it until the last 10 minutes. So if this were to fall underneath, you'd be saying, "What am I doing trading into that resistance?" So I don't think you need this trade later on in the afternoon, even though it did win. I don't think it's one you need repeatedly. I think the ones over here trading on the way up to that key VWAP, or even here on the way up to that VWAP, especially pairing the two assets because this is NQ again. Remember, if you compare it to ES, ES is above it yesterday's New York. So you're trading that pop. This is the equivalent of my trade on NQ. It's retesting above its yesterday's New York. So I really do like that for longs, which is why I was also helped convince into NQ because, okay, ES buyers are in above all VWAPs. I like this to go higher. Now, the reason I chose NQ, just a small subtlety, right? They both win, but NQ was right off the key level of this New York and a little bit lower by the opening range high. So I just like the better price. Now, ES is off this yesterday's New York view up. So it's still bouncing off a key level. Just something in my brain said NQ looks a lot better, a lot lower, ready to bounce. So I took that. Now, another thing we could look at if we go back over to TradeZella of my markups, you now have seen me trade both assets of how I use them together to help me get into trades, avoid certain trades. I'm also keeping pictures of the 15-minute. This is NQ on the 15-minute, the arrow that I'm pointing at right next to my face here. That's where I'm longing it, right? And that's also why this pin down below, that's why I'm not shorting it on the 1 minute there. Oh, we're below New York. Where let's let this 15-minute candle close. I'm watching on a 1 minute. Let me see if we can actually stay below this daily view up. No, we actually can't. We close back on it, and the next candle's bullish, which was my long trade, which is why I was comfortable taking the longs here because sellers all pre-market could not move us lower here. So once they're back here, I'm not just expecting them to finally show up and break us lower, especially with ES moving higher. That's what fed me into the long from the 15-minute perspective, as well as the 1 minute looked beautiful. And then this is ES, same thing. definitely not looking bearish. So I'm not expecting my NQ to be bearish at all either. Another small subtlety, giving you guys a lot of tips here. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. This blue line is yesterday's high. Now looking at the edge flow stats, we know there's an 85% chance that a day to day we don't stay stuck within yesterday's price action. We become an outside bar day, right? Where inside bar days are still between yesterday's high and low. That 85% of the time. So when I'm taking my long on NQ, ES is somewhere around here. And we still hadn't taken out this blue line, which is yesterday's high. And I'm thinking 85% of the time we become an outside bar day. So that's kind of telling me ES has more gas in it. So therefore, we keep going higher. Therefore, my NQ keeps going higher. All right, let's get in. Because I will admit, of the two assets, ES definitely looks more bullish on the 15. But using that information helped me get in on this NQ 15-minute because this one kind of looks like shit going into a yesterday's New York VWAP. Can't deny that, but that's after my trade. But still, even just overnight, still looking definitely more so heavily bearish. But ES helped me get in long. So hopefully that makes sense. Great week of trading so far, only 2 days. But you gotta like it. So like I mentioned, Tradeify accounts. Now I will make an announcement here. If you have stuck in this far into the video, first of all, I appreciate it. But next week, depending on when you're watching this, Wednesday, I don't even know what the date is. I'll be doing a giveaway of these two Tradeify accounts. I'm gonna give away a growth account and a straight to sim funded account 50K account. I'll make another announcement on my Twitter, so make sure you're following me there. You'll get more details there of the specific date, what you have to do, how you're gonna win. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I thank Tradeify for giving me these accounts to give away to you guys for tuning into these videos. You're probably gonna have to tune in live to the premiere of a video, which is normally at 11 a.m. But that should be no problem. We're all at the desk trading anyways. So yeah, that'd be super exciting. That'll be next week when I'm streaming on the road from Florida, getting out of this Jersey cold. It's just too damn cold. But I appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you have any questions, make sure to always reach out. I'm always available, or even come on to the ASFX TV streams and ask me questions, right? So I appreciate you. Trade safe. I'll see you guys on the desk tomorrow morning.